National Sports Council started demanding for the letter. Are you a member of FIFA? You're not. They're not members of FIFA. It's FAS. And the letters have come out. So who has looked foolish now? Because they thought FAS were hiding something behind their back. And the official communication has come out. The letters are out there for each one of us to go through and understand. And the beauty with FIFA.
Tune in to the Flava FM Football Show for the latest local, African and international football news.
Pius, if you look at Zambian football critically, very, very critically, after winning the AFCON, we went into the second attempt and did we win a single game? No. The slump started then. Yo, Kamanga this, Kamanga that, Kamanga. We from the time we hit a slump, we have not recovered.
You know, this is quite
it's sad.
Oxymoronic, should I say?
Yeah.
Precisely. I like that word.
In why I say it's oxymoronic is the Zambia has been booted out of the AFCON, but many people seem to have a great hope, even from the messages which I read earlier. People
Pius, going like I said, going forward.
Booting out has actually left many people positive.
The Flava FM Football Show, 90 minutes of nothing but football.
Flava FM, Kopala's most loved radio station, broadcasting to you on 87.7 on the Copper Belt, 96.9 in Lusaka, and 92.1 in Solwezi City. And we are also broadcasting live on Facebook, live on YouTube. Simply look for Flava FM on YouTube or Facebook and use any of those platforms to catch up with your favorite show. Yeah, remember, as usual, if you'd like to get in touch with us on the show, if you'd like to interact via text message, the line is 0965 000 877. I'll repeat it, 0965 000 877. That number also applies to WhatsApp messages as well. If you would like to give us a call, that will be later on. We'll take live calls later on at a designated time. When I say Pierre, you start calling. So when that time comes, we shall interact via phone line. That will be on 0212222877. 0212222877. Also, the text line number will be open as well on 0965 000 877. Let me kick off by introducing my panel in the studio. Mr. Arthur Luando, good evening to you. You were missing last week, but good to have you back.
Always a pleasure. It's a blessing to be back.
Yes. At least you had chance to watch a lot of football.
Yeah, and Liverpool lives on.
Liverpool lives on.
Through Mosara and Sergio.
Yes. But Liverpool na imwe. Liverpool wanted to disturb AFCON. They called Senegal and they said, we want don't play Sadio Mane. But Senegal said, no, we've got capable doctors here. He's okay, he'll play. Because of that concussion.
It's not like they love him, no. He's a product. It's here in Africa where you look at players as human beings. He's a product.
He's a product.
Yeah, he's a product. And there's a lot of value added to it. So, in as much as they went out of their way, but it just shows you how they value their products. So, for as long as we don't realize as Africans as well, as that our players are also products. We start looking at our players as products, then we also develop as a nation, as a continent.
Mr. Patrick Charlie, good evening and welcome to the show.
Thank you so much, Paz, for having me. And of course, the AFCON. Many countries have gone home, but the four that are remaining have entered the prize category where dollars will flourish at the end of the day. And
yes,
locally, of course, our league is reaching now the boiling point.
Yes, it's starting to get hot. Finally, I think men are beginning to be separated from boys. So
the separation has been done already. It's just crowding now.
We can say Green Buffaloes are now boys. They are among the boys.
Where they belong. They belong.
Otherman. Good evening, Otherman Patrick Tembo.
Good evening,
Other Buffaloes are boys. They are being separated from the men.
Listen to the command. Go boys, fight and conquer.
Boys.
So, go boys, fight and conquer.
Go boys, fight and conquer.
So the living men out there, they are boys.
So they must change this. Go men, fight and conquer.
Yes, go men, fight and conquer. Anyway, we shall see what they can do possibly to recover. Anyway, we are coming to talk about Green Buffaloes as we go. Let me see if I can catch up with a few text messages. Very shortly, we shall be speaking to the chairman for the Mflira Wanderers Supporters Society. That is the Kitwe chapter. We'll be speaking to the chairperson live on air. And that is Mr. Katebe Kawanga. So in the next 3-4 minutes or so. But in the meantime, let me see if I can just run through a few text messages. This one, let me just kick off a few, get some off my plate. Good evening, panelists. I'm John from Luansha. I watch that referee from Kitwe District Amateur. The name is Edmund Nyambe. He's a good referee. Please, Watembo, promote that referee.
Edmund Nyambe.
He's written it down. If you're not watching on Facebook or YouTube, Watembo is writing the name down now. Hi, football. Yeah, the chairman. You're interested. Hi, football team from Kitwe. Hi, football team. I hope you are doing well. Please, I want to hear your views over the Africa Cup. Greetings to you all. And famous Pastangoma Lusaka. I'm worried about my team K Warriors. Okay. You're not the only one. Many are worried. Man City have completed the signing of Argentina striker Julian Alvarez. City are understood to have paid in the region of 14 million euros for the 21-year-old. Has 5 caps for Argentina. I'm happy with my team Man City. Mr. Zuba from Nachi Hair Salon and Barber Shop in Solwezi. Kashmuri Man City Mr. Zuba. Good evening, panel. How are you? And how are you all? I'm really following this show. It just that I'm disappointed with my team Kansanshi Dynamos over the weekend for drawing against Chambeshi. I was thinking maybe they will beat them and get out of the relegation. And where is Nesta Lukupa? I'm Daniel Alfonso Davis, Antonio Maciel, Antonio Valencia, Ryan Bertrand, Julian Brandt, Jadon Sancho, Diogo Jota, Samir Nekovic, Rafael Varane, Miguel Muwowo Jr. from Solwezi. You've got many, many names, sir. How many are on your age? Okay. Then this one says, good evening, football gurus. It's another beautiful Wednesday the Lord has given us again. Papias and the panel, I welcome you to the most happening football, which is on Flava Football Show. But Tembo, you have disappointed me again, and this time around, it's not about the jersey, but on how did you not deliver the message to the Nkana Exco to sign a defensive midfielder, and I mean a proper defensive midfielder in the just ended transfer window. And lastly, Papias, please explain to me what's going on to the FAS disciplinary committee and why they are failing to act on a hooliganism going on in Zambian football and the case of Mason Greenwood. This is from Santos. So yes, we'll come and talk about some of those things. Guys, you guys are the best, and I hope Cameroon will repeat the 2017 record of beating Egypt. I'm Kaindu Moses in Moosburg from Solwezi City. Nkana and Manu for life. This one says, good evening to you, panel. My favorite show is back even today. I really enjoy this show. It's me, Adams, in Usakile. My greetings goes to Nkana and the Man United fans, not to forget our famous AKA Abaredi. Then we shall be speaking to Mr. Katebe just now, Mr. Kawangarada. So in any moment we shall be connecting with him. Last month you said Kitwe United never traveled for the game against Young Green Eagles, and Young Green Eagles were at the ground warming up ready for the game. Please, how far has the issue gone? Also advise the frequency for Kabwe. I want to listen to the program on my way from Lusaka, and I'm in Kabwe area. In Kabwe, I was in Kabwe. You can get 96.9 in Kabwe, but the signal's not very strong. But I managed to pick it around, especially entering Kabwe, Fig Tree. There were Fig Tree, that area. It was clear there. As I went into Kabwe town, it was not very, very clear. So it must be some spots But the best is download the Flava FM app if you've got a smartphone. Put the Flava FM app on your phone and listen to the show via the Flava FM app. Or if you can buy some good bundles and watch the show on YouTube or Facebook. I think that would be one of the easiest solutions for you who is out of the frequency areas. Ati bwanji ba pious muteo ati mutiuze ko kashi by Elderman as you are reading the message. Mutiuze ko ma transfer news Nkana na Chelsea. Papa from Chazanga. Thank you, Papa.
Where's Chazanga?
Lusaka.
Oh, Lusaka is here, man.
All right, well, DJ, we love you. No, this one is not
Radio friend, football friend.
It's not. It's not for the show. Mr. Tembo, where is Makenge? Yoram Chiteta, Nkana fan.
Yeah.
Hey, Pano Tembo, many friendlies. How many friendlies will Zambia play during the FIFA international break? And which countries will we play by Mishek Power Dynamos from Kawama?
The confirmed one is South Africa.
South Africa, yes. That one is...
Here they are trying to arrange one against Croatia.
Oh.
But that is to be confirmed.
Okay, that would be wonderful actually. We truly need VAR. Some clubs have players from Nollywood. They are actors. This is Alex Hamwata from Zamtan. Good text.
They're from a diving school.
Alex. Good evening, panel. Our coach at Zesco United, he's causing our team not to be doing well next season. He should go to the Africa Cup. Cameroon is my favorite to lift the trophy. Lucas Pakalulushi, Mr. Tembo, I want a Zesco United jersey.
It's very, very difficult to get that one, but we shall try.
Good evening. Okay, let me see. I think this is my call, which I'm supposed to receive. Okay, no, it hasn't come through. All right. That message. Okay. Good evening, Vapias and the team, Football Gurus. Sam Walia from Presidential. Alderman, why are the Nkana supporters going back to hooliganism behavior? What happened in Lusaka at Nkoloma was bad. Let's stand by the team in all situations, win, draw, or lose. Vakufa, talk about Lusaka Dynamo's situation. Then, Vatembo, on that one, being a Nkana supporter as well.
No, not Nkana. I'm an analyst. Anyway.
Okay, can I allow you to put your can I allow you to put your Nkana hat for 1 minute?
Yeah.
I thought the work is being done to sensitize the fans.
No. Look, these situations only happen in Lusaka and not at Nkana Stadium. If you observe, from the time they renovated the stadium, there has been no such.
Hold on, Vatembo. I think we have Mr. Kawanga on the line.
Yes, on the line.
Good evening, Mr. Kawanga.
Good evening, Pius. Good evening, fellow soccer analyst.
How are you today?
Good. No complaints. How about the rest of the team and yourself?
No, we are all right. And
great.
Yes, I know you are the Kitwe chapter chairperson for Mufulira Wanderers. Yes. Perhaps I've already introduced that we are going to chat. Perhaps you can tell us a little bit about the different chapters. How many? Are you familiar with how many branches the Mufulira Wanderers supporters have?
Yes, basically we've got quite a number dotted around the country. Like from Lusaka, we've got a chapter. Solwezi, we've got a chapter.
Yes.
got also a chapter here in Kitwe. Also other surrounding towns. But mainly these other small towns, they are affiliated maybe to Lusaka. Some are affiliated to us in Kitwe, like Kavirushi is part of Kitwe, Chambeshi is part of Kitwe. So these are the chapters that we have around the country.
All right. And looking at the Kitwe chapter specifically, of which you are chairperson of, how active is it?
It's very active right now. In the past, we used to have a lot of activities, but with unfortunate happenings of a team, we nosedived. But now we're trying to revive the chapter. We are not only Kitwe chapter, but these other chapters that I've earlier mentioned. We're trying to revive them, and basically we're looking at reviving the Kitwe chapter. It's very active now, and we're trying to currently recruit more members that have felt like they needed not to be part of a team. So we're trying to bring back those members. Those members that have gone maybe to pretend with in Ghana, they have gone to pretend to be power supporters. We're trying to bring back those members, of which there are a lot. So we're trying to revive the Kitwe chapter now by recruitment.
And I took an interest, especially that I know you've got a membership recruitment drive. And you're trying to, like you said, bring back members. In that, it is my belief that a lot of the clubs should emulate and do the same thing which you are doing, because people tend to get lost. Like you are rightfully putting it. Today I can be transferred to Solwezi, then I can become a Lumwana supporter. But Kansanshi Dynamo's supporter. Are you also, are all the chapters more connected to each other, such that someone can go to Solwezi and jump into the Solwezi team?
Yes, actually, perhaps we operate as at a national base. There is a national chapter under which we fall as Kitwe chapter. So if any person maybe move to Lusaka, they will be ready accommodated in the Lusaka chapter, or they move to Solwezi, they will find the chapter there. So we operate as a national chapter. So Kitwe chapter is an affiliate of the National Supporters Society. So definitely they will find the chapter wherever they will move to.
Okay, Alderman Tembo has a question for you.
Mr. Kawanda.
Mr. Kawanga.
Yes, sir.
Mfrida Wanderers is known to have the second biggest basin as far as supporters are concerned. But why is it that when the team is not doing well, you people disappear? And now that it has won 4 games, it is doing well in the second round, that's when you gather and you want to be part of the success which may be coming. Do you think that is good? Why can't you learn from Nkana, who are with the team even when they're demoted to Division 1 and they're not doing fine? So are we taking it that you are reviving these groups because Mfrida Wanderers now has a chance of coming back to the Super League because they are now in good form? What lessons do you think you can learn from Nkana supporters?
Yeah. Contrary to that, there have been people who have been on the ground. People like us who've always stayed loyal to the team. They are staunch, mighty supporters there that never run away, and they've been there like always. So it's good that you brought up that point that we don't need to run away and only come back in good times. There are supporters that have run away because we are not doing so good, or we're in Eden National League. There are some that have gone away. I earlier mentioned that there are some that have gone to pretend like power supporters, ESCO supporters. So there have been people who have been on the ground people like us that have been pushing the team's agenda. So we've always been there. So we are urging like those that have gone away to come back and be part of us. Definitely we'll make it. Definitely we'll make it to Premier League. It's not just a few games that we've won, but even the losses, people have been there and they have stayed loyal to the team. So definitely we are there, and there are people that are out there that we are appealing to, that have run away from Flava Wanderers to come back to the fold.
At the moment, perhaps you can just highlight the recruitment drive. Maybe I can give you a chance to tell us what you're doing in order to entice some of these supporters to come back.
Okay, basically, as you know, my team, Flava Wanderers, as Eldama mentioned, is one of the most successful teams and with the most passionate supporters in the country. So this is the drive that we have. We've started having meetings at Conchita's restaurants and events right in Nkana East, along Kantanta, just opposite 19th Avenue. We meet every Friday at 18 hours. So every member who has gone away, those that are active, are encouraged to be attending these meetings on every Friday. And to entice the members, we are having monthly gatherings, like social gatherings, outings. We go out to have fun. Apart from that, we trying to lobby sponsorship deals for the club as well. So we encouraging other members to come on board, to come and be part of the success that is currently happening. Because definitely we are bouncing back to the Premier League, and we want everyone to be part of this success that we are currently embarked on. So we need all of us to come on board, to show passion to the team, and just to lobby sponsorship and everything that is needed for us to bounce back to the Premier League.
Are there any incentives with regards to getting Flava Wanderers merchandise from if you are a member of one of the chapters, for example, discounted jerseys, scarves, or whatever merchandise might be available?
Yes, Pius. The incentives are there. Maybe one of them is entry into the stadium whenever there is a match, the merchandise, the scarf. We've got various items that are on offer if somebody comes on board to be part of a society. There are a lot of incentives that we've provided.
Okay.
Yes.
Lastly, Mr. Arthur Luando here has a question for you.
Good evening, sir.
Luando.
Hello?
Hello, Mr. Luando.
Hello. Just a permanent solution going forward.
Yes.
What have you done differently, or what do you intend to do differently to avoid relegation and to give yourselves a permanent position in the Premiership? Because I'm sure it's been a very bitter lesson staying where you are, seeing that you have a very big name in football. You're the biggest football team in the country. But what are you doing going forward so that you avoid relegation and have a permanent position in the Premiership again, going back where you belong as a big club?
Very important question, Mr. Mando. I think in the past we've had a lot of challenges. One of them is sponsorship, of which it should be now the thing of the past, because we're catered now with sponsorship. We've got a lot of people that will come on board with sponsorship. Then number two, I think we had a lot of issues and problem with administration. And with the coming in of a GK team, which is George Katongo, we believe we've got the right administration in place, and all will be well. The administration has been cut off, it has been taken care of, and we believe this will spur us in a good direction. And once we bounce back, I believe we'll never go back again. We'll be competing with the top boys of this country. Then thirdly, it's all about the passion. We were encouraging fans to have a passionate heart for the team. And once we do that, we'll spur the team forward. It will be the 12th man in the stadium and for the team. And I believe with those things, we're able to stay in the Premier League once we bounce back.
Mr. Katebe, Kawanga, thank you for your time. And good to hear from you. I know we'll keep talking.
Yes,
because I know it's not a small issue. I know we'll keep on interacting and seeing how we can help each other. It would be good to see Mufulira Wanderers bounce back and do it in a big way, supported and pushed by the fans. Those who are wearing Zesco jerseys, they can now buy the Mufulira Wanderers jersey.
Exactly. That's what we want to see. That's what we want to see now.
Good to have you on air with us.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Pass, for your time. Thank you very much for everyone there.
Thank you. All right.
Thank you very much.
Okay. So that was Mr. Katebe Kawanga. He's the chairperson of the Mufulira Wanderers supporters chapter. We do talk to fan associations here on the show. And I think, Alderman, let me give you now, we've got plenty of lower league results. Can I ask you to go straight into them?
Okay. We start with the FAS Northwestern Province Division 1, Week 18. It was Young Kansanshi nil, Zesco Solwezi nil. Prison Jets nil, Solwezi Academy 1. Bresma United nil, Solwezi United 2. Maeva Academy 1, Mufumbwe Marketeers 4. Kasempa Police 1, Police Doves 2. APG Meeting 1, Flying Stars nil. Lumwana Heroes nil, Manyama United 1. Mufumbo United versus Spartans. It was walkover. Spartans failed to travel. Mumpulumba nil, ZNS Mumbeji nil. So those were the results for Northwestern Province Division 1. We move on to the Provincial Division 1, Lusaka Province, Week 18. Atletico Lusaka 2, Airport Warriors 1. Chainda Bombers 1, Young Zanaco 1. Young Napsa 2, Chiranga Stars 1. Chirundu United nil, Vector nil. State House 2, Happy Hearts 1. Lusaka City Council 1, Shamio Academy nil. Nampundwe nil, Rifleman 1. Paramilitary 1, National Assembly 2. Sebo Bulls nil, Mississippi Academy nil. We move on to Eastern Province Division 1. Eastern Province Division 1, Week 18. Chipata City Council nil, Chadiza United nil. Panza 1, Sinda United nil. Young Nkwazi nil, Leu Chipata 1. Nyampande nil, Smiling Kids nil. Zesco Chipata 3, Nyimba United nil. Malambo United nil. Imeno Golden 2. Katete Rangers 5, Lundazi United nil. St. Francis 3, Katete United 1. Riumpezen versus Petauke United, game was not played. We move on. Mchinga Province Division 1, Week 18. It was Riverside 1, Rio Nakonde 5. Tazara Rangers 2, Nakonde Town Council 1. Kalungu 1, Tazara Police nil. Isoka Youngsters 3, Zesco Mpika nil. Mpika United 3, Zesco Chinsari 3. Rhino Rangers nil, Mchinga Blue Eagles nil. GM 3, Mafinga nil. Nakonde Vira versus Chama Youngsters was postponed. We move on back home, Copperbelt Province, Division 1, Week 18. Kalush Modern Stars nil, Mutondo Stars nil. Ndola United 1, Neocath nil. Lubambe Community 1, Chingola Police Blue Stars 2. 2. Ron United 2. Young Changa Rangers 1. Rainbow Rangers 0. Young Power Dynamos 1. Chingola Leopards 0. Kongola Mine Police 0. Zambezi Portland 0. Copper Belt Buffaloes 1. Mufulira United 1. Mufulira Blackpool 2. Young Nkana 1. Luansha United 1.
You're done?
Yeah.
Western Province First Division 1 Week 18 results as follows. Luena Buffaloes 1, Zesco Shockers 2, Touch Sport 1, Kalabo Flyers 1, Nangweshi Pirates 0, Yeta FC 0, Katima Border Stars 3. Now listen to these. These were all walkovers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Katima Border Stars 3, Louis United 0. Mongu Youth Academy 3, Mwandi Leopards 0. Kaoma Town Council 3, Katima Flyers 0. Mayukwa United 3, Imwiko Heroes 0. Antonio 3, Shangombo United 0. Senanga United 3, and Lukulu Dynamos 0. 6 walkovers because 6 non-travelers. And so we are saying, in other words, in Division 1 Western Province, only 3 matches were played.
The whole province.
The whole
and
province.
I think there is need to find out why is it that it's only Western Province. Is it the terrain?
Distances?
I mean,
the distances.
these are
Funding.
issues which need to come in.
The distances
people
are...
that running these clubs, I think they didn't do good planning at the beginning of the season.
They were in a hurry.
They should have worked out a budget.
They should have split even the teams because the distances
Look
are
at
quite...
constraints.
The
I think
distances
the
are-
planning aspect was not done properly.
Yeah.
The distances passed are quite serious.
No, the issue of distances, I don't think
I've lived there.
I don't think I also
expensive
I've
to
also
travel.
been there. I don't think I can.
So
buy
if
into
it's
that.
a distances, we're talking of money.
Yeah,
That's the point.
You know,
It's
that's
funding.
Why,
That's the
that's
point.
why
So
planning
that's why
comes in.
for me-
Northwestern, some of these teams they have also distances. Chipata, I mean Eastern Province. If
So it's
team
an
is
aspect of
moving
planning.
from Chadiza,
It's just an aspect of planning.
It's also a distance. So it's a question of planning there.
But that's
And
very
be
serious.
And
I think
now that FAS has been decentralized, there we have provincial offices.
Yeah.
They should try.
I think
and sort out
this one
No,
they need to sort it out. It's a big one.
Yeah, remember we
is
talked about
huge.
it. It's not
I think
about-
we'll try and
Yes.
see whether we can catch the provincial head, see what we can get out of him. Because that's very, very serious. Even FAS should take an interest in that.
Yes.
Because
6
because this is
walkovers.
Division 1.
Yes, this
We're
is
talking
Division 1.
about
It's not Division
provincial.
4.
No.
Usually you find these teething issues at
Yes,
Division 4.
3, 4.
Yes.
Because
But
those are possible premiership
hey,
teams, huh?
yes,
Yeah.
these are, for
Possible
Eden.
Eden, yeah.
Yes,
Possible Eden
they are
team.
vying for Eden. So as usual, you find the more prepared teams like Zesco Shockers, Luena Buffaloes. They are the ones who are topping.
And they will
I'm
win
not
promotion
sure who
without being
owns
tested.
Yeta, but they are number 2 because the top 4 is Zesco Shockers, they were 43 points. Yeta, number 2. Luena Buffaloes, number 3. They both have 39 points. And Touch Sports Academy, they also have 31 points. And Touch, they played. Zesco Shockers, Luena Buffaloes, they both, it was a top of the table
Pashas,
clash.
you see that
They
when
played.
you have 6 walkovers, that's 18 free points.
Yes.
That's very dangerous.
Yeah.
So like Wilderman
So
said,
you can, that's why you can
get
find
promoted, yeah, and-
quality,
Yeah.
yes. The quality
No.
going into
Without being tested,
Division
yeah.
1 is not the right quality. You've qualified because you've got money. Not that you are the best team.
You look. When did we produce? When did Western Province produce a good player that we can remember? In many years, it's zero. It's problems like this, isn't it?
Support and development.
Yes, definitely. And so I think we can go straight into Eden University.
Going to
Charlie,
Yeah.
You can give us results for Eden University.
Okay, straight into it. Trident 1, Quattro Kalumbila 0. This was a local derby. Kitwe United 0, City of Lusaka 0. Veteran teams sharing points. Mchanga Rangers 1, Jumulo 1. Zesco Malite Rangers 0, Goms 0. Virgin scoreline. Livingston Pirates 0, Lumwana 0. Lumwana made a long trip into Livingston. Luapula Green Eagles 0, Napsa 0. Of course, Napsa dropping 2 points. Kaisa 0, Mufira Wanderers 1. Resurgent Wanderers 1. Young Green Buffaloes 2, Young Green Eagles 2. And of course, FC Muza 4, Police College 0.
But Charlie, what games caught your eye from Eden University this weekend?
I think straight on, I would give the Kaisa Mufira Wanderers game.
Yeah.
Wanderers on a winning spree, winning 1-0 in Kabwe. A few minutes ago, we were listening to the chapter president who highlighted their ambitions for the club. So for Wanderers to win 4 games in a row, I think it's good for the club and good for their technical bench led by Tembo. I think for Kaisa, they are slowly getting down. They may even end up in the provincial league. This is the game which caught my eye.
Arthur?
The Trident Kalumbila. I don't know whether Trident are back to life again. They seem to have gained a bit of stability. So we'll see how much of a challenge they'll pose to Nchanga Rangers and Mtwara Wanderers. So because I see that 4th position being fought for by 3 teams. Nchanga Rangers are beginning to show signs of recovery as well. And if you look at the margins, they're just 1 point apiece on like 4 or 5 teams.
Yeah.
Yeah, just 1 point from 27 to about 32. My points that anyone can any one of those 5 teams can actually get the 4th slot. So it's
Nchanga Rangers was as of last week crept into top 4, but they've gone out of top 4.
But just by one position, which is still they're still hanging in there. It's about confidence going forward. So the second round, like we said last time, is about showing character. If you fall out of character now, then you're gone. Yeah. So if you're going to contend for the 3rd and 4th positions, you have to be in the top 6 all the time. Top 6 all the time until you cement your position in the top 4.
Other man, what caught your eye this weekend?
Yeah, having lost 2-0 to Flava Wanderers, the question that came was, will Muza respond? And indeed they did.
Yeah.
By beating Police College 4-1. That was convincing. 4-0.
4-0.
Yeah, that was...
Where Napsa were dilly-dallying.
You see?
Uh-huh.
But they would ask, who doesn't beat Police College?
Napsa.
Police College...
Everyone beats Police.
Everybody except Napsa.
Yeah, so Masauso Tembo, I think he told the boys, come on, we can't lose our slot. Go boys, fight and conquer. And they responded and got maximum points. And I think that is a game which I thought we could look at.
Muza, position 3, and they are, I think, in this series, from the beginning of the league, I can't recall a gap of 4 points between number 3 and number 4. Is this a pulling away and trying to get closer to the top 2?
Yeah, they're trying to do that.
And what are your thoughts, Arthur? You think this 4-point gap is sustainable, or it's one of those?
Pass. One loss takes you to 1 point.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, until they get to the minimum of 5, where you lose a game and you still remain 2 points clear. That is a bit of a strength. But 4 points is still not very safe, because it only gives you 1 point cushion, which is dangerous in your in the second game. But if you've got if you've got 5 points, it's a bit of a gamble, because if you draw the next game, you still have that 3 points cushion again. So for me, 4 points is not still very safe. Go to 5 points clear, then you can start breathing. You can have confidence going forward.
But Charlie, would you say that Lumwana and NAPSA are pretty much cementing the first 2 slots? So there are mainly 2 slots up for grabs.
I think from the way the table has panned out, I would single out Lumwana and NAPSA Stars as pulling away from the rest of the pack. But we are looking at the third team, like you rightly put it. Moza is on 36 points. Lumwana and NAPSA Stars on 40 points. And then from Moza you get to Trident on 32. You're talking about 8 points. I can safely say that Lumwana and NAPSA Stars are certainly pulling away from the rest, and the gap is getting wider. But if you slightly go down again,
yes,
there are teams like Mufira Wanderers who are getting into the picture. Then there are teams like Kitwe United who are getting out of the picture. I watched the Kitwe United City of Lusaka game, and they are almost like on a rebuilding process. Kitwe United have a new coach now in Mujembe, roped in from Konkola Blades. City of Lusaka equally have a new coach in Albert Mpande, snapped from Kitwe United. And just during the course of the week, they've actually recruited about 6-7 players for City of Lusaka, just trying to look at the grey areas in their team. These are veteran teams who are vying for a position in the top 4. But to answer your question, Pass, Lumwana, NAPSA are running away with it.
They're running away with it.
Despite
their indifferent results over the weekend. They both, actually, from my calculations, they would have both been on 42 points. Yeah. And they both drew. You've got a different view, Alderman.
Completely.
Yes.
You have to watch out. There are about 13 games to go. Look at the differences. I mean, the difference between the top 4 and those chasing. This is still up for grabs. We have teams which started like diesel engine, like Nchanga Rangers, who are playing very well. We covered their game last week. They are balanced. I can tell you that they are going to fight for one of those slots. Jumulo is not a bad side. You are still talking about Kitwe United, who have a game in hand. So you have Jumulo, who can upset the tables anytime. You won't know what type of game they will give you the next day. Like the way they played against Nchanga. Nchanga thought they were going to have a walk in the park, but Nchanga were almost losing. So watch those teams. Mfulira Wanderers, Jumulo, Kitwe United, Trident. These are the teams which I think will give the big boys Musa, NAPSA, and Lumwana. They'll give them a very good run for their money. It's open. Others will drop out of the top 4 as a result of draws. One of those which surprises us is, for instance,
Trident.
Trident. Why you expect them to win? They will line up a number of draws. Now, if you draw 3 times, you have dropped 6 points. A team which will win once can take over. So it's quite tricky. And I'm saying this looking at the performance of the teams. It's
getting interesting, Alderman. But for Lumwana, I think they have been consistent in the way they have been panning out these results. These other 2 slots where Musa and Trident is occupying, the hands can be changing. This is where the big boys like Wanderers can catch up, Nchanga Rangers can catch up. If you look at the way the table is, there is Lumwana at 40 points with about 9 plus 4, 13 games to go. Then there is NAPSA. These are very experienced sides with experienced coaches. You're talking about Buton Musonda, the coach for Lumwana Radiants. And you're talking about Perry Mutapa, the coach for NAPSA Stars. He knows the terrain. He knows how to navigate. Then there's Musa, led by Masao Sotembo. Is this the slot which is under threat? This is where the Nchanga Rangers, the Wanderers can catch up. But for these two, that is where there's a slight gap. That was the point I'm trying to drive. Where Trident and Musa is, they will keep on changing positions. Yeah. Nchanga Rangers is playing attractive football, like you rightly put it. Wanderers is bridging the gap. And very soon Wanderers can actually get into the top 5, top 6. And Young Green Eagles is also in the picture.
Yes, it's another team.
It's another team. Let's put in Young Green Eagles. And they have a pending case with Quito United. Mm-hmm. And those 3 points will be given to Young Green Eagles, which will take them to 34. And Young Green Eagles will actually...
It immediately puts them on number 4.
Number 4.
If they get those points.
There's points.
So you are coming to my point that no one has picked it yet.
Yeah, but this is
they
what I'm saying.
They just have to fight.
Young Green Eagles.
But Elder Mantemo, the point is, if you look at the first 2 slots, we can almost say that the first 2 slots are almost guaranteed.
How can they be guaranteed? Almost, with 13 games, gentlemen.
Almost
13
guaranteed.
games is 39 points.
If you look at the consistency of Lumwana and NAPSA, they've been like this for the last...
They've just been changing
hands.
From day one.
From day one.
Mind you,
that's a lot of
NAPSA
consistency.
Was number 1, okay?
Yeah.
They have dropped. They have dropped now. We are saying in round 2, anything can...
But what we're saying, in as much as anything can happen, sir, yes, we believe anything can happen in football, but we're looking at the permanent consistency.
I would have been with you.
They're just exchanging.
Listen, if we had the 4 games,
yes.
If we had the 5 games to go, I would have totally agreed with you. Now you're talking about 13 games.
Personally, I'm putting Young Green Eagles.
And the squads have changed. Mfulira Wanderers, for instance, have got very, very good they've made 3 good additions. Emmanuel Mkuka is deadly. They are now balanced. Let's see how the games will pan out because the squads have changed. You know?
Okay, let me quickly give the table and what it's looking like in the Eden University National League. 18th position, Police College, number 6 with 16 points. Number 17, Zesco Malaiti Rangers, 18 points. 16, Livingston Pirates, 18 points. 15, Cabo Youth Academy, 20 points. Quattro Kalumbila, 14 with 20 points. Luapula Green Eagles, 13, 21 points. Gomes, 12, 27 points. 11, Young Green Buffaloes, 27 points. 10, City of Lusaka, 27 points. 9, Mufulira Wanderers, 28 points. 8, Quito United, 30 points. 7, Young Green Eagles, 31 points. 6, Jumulo, 31 points. 5, Nchanga, 31 points. 4, Trident, 32 points. 3, Musa, 36 points. 2, NAPSA Stars, 40 points. And number 1, Lumwana Radiants with 40 points. It's interesting just to note that in the table, 12 Gomes and 4 Trident are only separated by 5 points.
That's exactly what I was saying.
So this is still a very, very tight league to call. Even Gomes have a shout. If we look at form guide, the teams with the best form in the last 5 games, and number 1 is Mufulira Wanderers. They out of
4 draws,
out of 15 games, yes, they've got 13 points, and number 2 is Gomes. Out of a possible 15 points, they've got 11 points. That's when others follow. Like in Luana 9 points, NAPSA 8 points, then also Young Green Eagles also have 10 points. They are also they would be number 3 if you look at the form guide as it stands. So it's just a matter of seeing whether teams will continue with form or they will mess up. Talking about continuing with form, Arthur, Quito United versus Trident, your thoughts?
Quito United are still suffering from the loss of a good coach. So we'll see how the new coach is going to come in and probably settle the team. Because, I mean, they were very stable with Pande. He was a brilliant coach. And they were quite a thorn. But Quito United is always interesting when it comes to winning promotion, but staying. They will excite you, play good football, but the moment they just qualify into the Premiership, they lose it again. So there's sort of a go-come team. So for me, they don't excite me anymore. They've been in and out of the Premiership for the last, how many times in the last 10 years? So many times. They easily come into the Premiership and they easily fall out. So for me, trust me, I'm not excited about Quito United.
Charlie, Jumulo hosting Quattro Kalumbila.
This is an interesting fixture. Of course, Jumulo pegged Mchanga Rangers. They were leading at one point. And they must be looking forward to the home game against Quattro Kalumbila. I know George Kapembo, a former City of Lusaka, at their helm. I think this fixture favors Jumulo. Quattro Kalumbila have been dropping points needlessly. They have not performed very well in the past 5 games. So on paper, I think Jumulo has got an edge over Quattro Kalumbila.
Other man, City of Lusaka versus Zesco Malaiti Rangers.
Yeah, I say on paper that is a routine win for City of Lusaka. Again, the question will be, who doesn't beat Zesco Malaiti Rangers?
Who doesn't beat Police College? Ask Mchanga Rangers.
Who doesn't beat Zesco? That's what you said, and then NAPSA messed up.
Yes.
On Police College.
Maybe they underrated them.
I thought you
but obviously, I fancy City to collect maximum points in that game.
Okay. Arthur, Lumwana Radiant versus your childhood team, Mchanga Rangers.
I still don't trust in Mchanga Rangers, sadly. They're playing good football, but they haven't reached a point where they can actually excite me to a point where I can actually predict a game. Right now, for me, Lumwana does their homework when they're playing at home. It's not easy to beat Lumwana at home. It's not easy. So for Rangers, they must pray for a draw. Otherwise, for me, I can guarantee a win for Lumwana.
For Lumwana.
They need to, Mchanga Rangers need to start surprising us. They if you can beat one of the teams in the top 4 pairs, that shows that you're able to get a position in the top 4.
Yeah.
But if you're going to go to Lumwana, the teams that are in the top 4, if you lose to the teams in the top 4, then promotion is suspect. So for Rangers to actually give us confidence going forward, as in promotion-wise, they must beat the teams in the top 4.
Yeah.
That way we will have confidence that, okay, at least there's some history. Or they go to Lumwana and get a draw. That would be breathing positive air. So for me right now, I still have confidence in Lumwana because they've been there before and they want it more than in Mchanga Rangers. So Mchanga Rangers must start proving to us that they can beat big teams. And big teams away or home. Because the most disappointing thing about the Mchanga Rangers, if you've noticed, they fail to win at home. They've got too many draws at home. I think if you do an analysis, I may be wrong, but I think they are better side traveling. But traveling to big teams like Lumwana is what they need to start improving now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Charlie, do you see Gomes possibly improving their form against Luapula Green Eagles? They'll be hosting Luapula Green Eagles.
Yeah, this is a side I think Gomes, maybe it has been blowing hot and cold, more especially in terms of sponsorship. They have been very near trying to get promotion, but towards the end they tend to tire. Gomes, in terms of the form guide, is the informed team coming up against Luapula Green Eagles. Gomes, this is a side which has produced players like George Chisala for Power Dynamos. They have produced Mukuka for Zesco United. And most recently, their coach, George P., left them for Jumulo. So there has been a change in terms of the technical bench, but they are grinding up a good result. This is a winnable game for Gomes, so they should actually try and improve in terms of the sponsorship aspect for this team, Gomes. It was coming up so well, but faltering when it matters most.
Mufulira Wanderers versus Livingston Pirates. Alderman.
Well, Flava Wanderers must not make a mistake of underrating Livingston Pirates. Livingston Pirates have now stabilized. They have turned into draw kings. They recently frustrated Jomolo. They visited Jomolo and they got a point from KPF, where one would have expected maybe Jomolo to collect maximum points. This time around, they are going to Mufulira, but Mufulira Wanderers, much as they've been bad travelers, they've been very, very good at home. I remember when Musa came, I was telling Chris, I said, no matter what form Musa is in, they can't collect maximum points at Shinde. And that's exactly what happens. That spirit of might we have seen their supporters back in the stadium. It will be too much for Livingston Pirates. It will definitely
Who are draw specialists.
This time they won't even manage to draw. Whoever goes to Shinde this time round is something else.
Something else?
Maningi trouble.
Maningi trouble. Other NAPSA versus Young Green Buffaloes.
That's a cup final. That's a very, very tough game. But
very tricky.
That's a very, very tough fixture. But
perhaps the fixture of the week.
But NAPSA, seeing that they lost, is it they lost or they drew?
Drew.
Yeah, they lost 2 points, so they don't have a choice but to win the next game. Because can you imagine if they lost, if they lose the game now, that 8 points advantage that they have on the third team.
If they draw even, they will have 3 draws in a row, and which will not be good.
Pass, it's not so much about the second position. It's about the person who's number 3 from them. There's that 8 points advantage that they have.
Now
once you start losing that 8 point advantage to 5, then eventually,
because they are 4 points ahead of Musa.
Yeah. So 4 points pass is, like I said, 4 is not good enough.
Yeah.
The advantage starts after 5 points. So meaning, even their position as number 1 or 2 begins to be threatened. The pressure must be between 1 and 2. The moment the pressure gets into the third team, becomes competition to number 1 or 2, then you have a problem. So let them maintain first and 1, but 1 and 2. The moment competition starts creeping in, even on number 3 becomes competitive against them, then there's a problem. Then we have a compromised top 4, and they don't want that.
But Charlie, number 18, Police College, hosting number 15, Kaisa.
Police College.
A relegation battle fixture.
Relegation battle.
Yeah, indeed, this is a relegation battle. I feel for Kaisa after the demise of the owner. The widow has been left to actually fend for this team. This is how come they even failed to travel at one point. So I think they are dodged by a lot of financial issues. But they still have an opportunity to get out of the relegation waters, coming up against Police College, equally limping at the basement of the Eden University National League. But I think a draw is written all over.
I don't think so.
Alderman.
Guys will obviously win that. I mean,
going back to Alderman's theory, who doesn't beat Police College?
Who doesn't beat?
They surprised the Changa Rangers. So they might as well just surprise guys as well.
Alderman, you have the fixture of the weekend. Young Green Eagles versus FC Musa.
That one is big. That's where a draw is written over. Yeah, obviously, I think Young Green Eagles have settled down. They didn't start well. They have a number of experienced players. Of course, this is a team which was demoted from Super League recently. So this time around,
politically demoted.
Yes. Yeah, it was over some controversy. Yeah, so they want to come back. Second round, they have been doing very well. So it will be a very, very tricky fixture indeed.
Yeah.
So I see a draw in that game.
Yeah.
Just to add on to this fixture pass, Musa will make a very short trip from Mazabuka into Kafue. They will come up against Young Green Eagles. And Young Green Eagles, I think, are hurt in the manner they were demoted. They are trying to get back. We made an analysis of the table, the way it's panning out. And Young Green Eagles, to me, have a slight edge over Musa. This is going to be the match of the week. But I can assure you, Young Green Eagles will not let go this one fix.
You see, these two teams know each other. You know, they're
Neighbors.
both them from Southern
Mazabuka,
Province.
Kafue.
Yeah, they okay, Kafue is not in Southern Province.
Well,
Yeah, but they have played against each other.
Southern
so
region,
much,
yes.
that these are games like Pawankana. You know, so it will be tricky. But I may agree with Bachali. I think Young Green.
It won't be on
No,
TV.
even an
It
issue
won't
of
be on
maturity.
TV order, man.
And
This one.
maturity and experience.
It won't be on
Eagles are more
TV.
mature and experienced.
This would
I
be.
think they
You haven't been communicated to.
Oh, well, maybe we can ask the Octopus Pius now.
But it will be tricky because FC Musa are okay. They are fighting tooth and nail to be in top 4.
Where is this fixture,
and
by the way? It's in Kafue.
it's in Kafue.
Kafue.
No,
So-
Musa, the problem, Musa have not been convincing each time they travel.
They travel.
But
So,
Like, what
but
happens
young Green
if you are
Eagles
to be
are
a
not
champion-
easy to beat in
If you are
Kafue.
to be a champion, pick some points on the road as well. Convince.
Small, big team.
Yeah.
Musa, on the road, check those fixtures. You agree with me?
Yeah.
They have not been convincing.
All right, so I think we can jump straight into the Super League, and I think I can run through results of games played in over the weekend. Starting from last week Thursday, we had Nkana 1 through an Alex Gonga penalty. Lots of controversy in that game. Nkana 1, Cabo Warriors 0. Zesco Friday, Zesco United 1, Indeni 0. Forest Rangers 0, Power Dynamos 0. Saturday, Kafue Celtic 1 and Buildcon 1. Kansanshi 0, Chambeshi 0. Livingston, Prison Leopards 3 and Lusaka Dynamos 1. Konkola Blades 1, Zanaco 1. Green Buffaloes 2 and Red Arrows 3. Green Eagles 2, Nkwazi 1. And today's fixture, Zanaco 0, Forest 0. Waterman, starting with you. Zanaco and their draws, what's happening?
Yeah, you see, by the way, it's important to mention that the game they played this afternoon,
5
and the
in
one
a
they
row.
played against Green Eagles were brought forward at their request.
Yes.
Because
of
they'll
continental,
start playing
Continental.
football.
And just before you even start analyzing, supposing they had won, this is 5 out of 15 points.
Yes.
Supposing they had won all their games, let me just add 10 points to 31, they would have been on number 2.
Exact.
1 point behind Red
That's what
Arrows.
it is.
But they have fluffed it.
You see, and you see, they are now panicking. One of their players was even red carded. You know, they are under a lot of pressure. They have not won for a long time. This is what happens when the people who have been assigned to run the team don't know what they are doing. We talked about Zanaco. You see, they have resources, but the way they chop and change the technical bench, the players, their squad, it's a roller coaster. You need stability.
Sorry, I actually made a miscalculation. The last 6 games have been draws.
Yes.
6.
It means they have dropped 12 points. You get a point?
They have dropped.
In short, they have lost 4 games.
No. If they have dropped 12 points, it means
It's
they
as
have
good as
lost
losing 4 games.
Yeah, you're right. They've lost 4. It's as good as losing 4 games in a row.
4 losses, bias.
You know, so
The big
it's
Zanaco.
not good. It's because the players don't know each other. There's no cohesion any longer.
No,
They had released Zio and Rachakola. Now, because of panicking, they have brought those people back from retirement. They don't know what they're doing. You remember we talked about the list that they released.
They released.
Zio was one of them, and we asked a lot of questions. How do you do that to your captain, who has been with Zanaco for a long time? They even sponsored him to be a coach. How do you just release him? Rachakola, the goalkeeper. They have brought those back. It means the management at Zanaco is not sure.
So, Paz, the problem that we have is in Zambian football, sadly, it's got very little to do with players. It's got everything to do with administration. And the biggest example, Pius, is Power Dynamos. You get rid of the executive, and the same bad players start giving you results. So administration, Pius, is very, very critical. They are quick at hiring, and the same people who hire bad coaches must also be fired. Because when you hire a bad coach, meaning you're also not competent. If you hire and fire 3 coaches in a year, it means there's something wrong with the recruitment program. To start with, you can't have 3 coaches or more than, or even just 2 coaches in a year pass. Meaning the people doing the recruitment have a problem with thinking and decision making.
Yeah,
so let's start looking at the people that employ those people they fire as well.
I want to agree with my alderman. Still on Zanaco. There is a point when they released what we may term as senior players.
Yes.
Zio was one of them. Enes Mbewe was the other player, Manganibanda, a list of names. And at one point they released their CEO in Malon Kananda. Brought in someone new who's is learning the ropes as the league is in progress. A lot of
through mistakes.
Through mistakes. Yeah. They let go Zio Tembo, brought him back. They let go Kiala. Even
Kiala is back.
Kiala was with them. He's been brought back. They are very thin on the ground, and they have realized that they have too many games to play, and they need these experienced.
They need experience and also depth.
Yeah, depth. So in short, I think their executive has pressed the panic button, and it's not good for a big club of Zanaco's repute to be doing such things.
Ernest Mbewe is scoring for Green Eagles.
For Green Eagles.
Because you need these experienced players. Even if you don't use him for 90 minutes, you can say, let's give him 50 or
35 minutes, he will deliver.
Yeah. Because that 35 minutes, because of experience,
he will do
can add value, you can change the, so these are some of the...
All right.
It's sad that...
In short, Zanaco is missing Malon, in short.
Yeah. Okay, so looking at we had 2 fixtures from the service teams. Green Eagles 2, Nkwazi 1. Arthur, Green Eagles slowly.
No, but if you look at the 2 teams, Green Eagles is a bigger side than Nkwazi. What has Nkwazi done for Zambian football in Zambian football? Nothing. So it's not a surprise that they are able to lose to a team of Green Eagles stature. They've not been in that consistent form by Eagles, yes, but they've earned their position in the big boys ranks in the last 5 years. So it's a good result for Green Eagles, and they're slowly redefining themselves. Yeah, they're slowly redefining themselves. And what I love about the team is that the system has confidence in their coach. Because coach.
Charlie, Green Buffaloes scores first. Then Red Arrows equalize, go ahead again, and then Green Buffaloes come back with the consolation. What Green Buffaloes, as we predicted,
I was right, Pass.
They are not moving in the right direction, and they are making Red Arrows look like the real deal.
Making Red Arrows like the real deal. Worrying times for Green Buffaloes. They started off very promising. This is a side which was called the Zambia Army at one point. And at one point, their entire defense was shifted from Buffaloes straight into the national team, where we had Jackson Bule, Kapela Katumpa, Emi Emi Musonda.
Yes.
You know, so basically for Buffaloes, they had made a false start in terms of getting to the summit of the Premier League. They were there for many, many weeks. And others may say some tired legs. They have players like Mike Katiba. They have Momba, Chirimba Monga, their team captain, and the Fatish, the goalkeeper. Who's overweight.
They have sidelined him.
Yeah. And their technical bench led by Justin Chinam, I think they have got it wrong. And this is where now command is getting worried. They have to do something. But for Red Arrows, this is a side which is led by Banda, the player from Indeni, their top scorer, playing beautiful football. I think credit must go to Red Arrows. They removed about 9 players at a go, brought in quality, and results are showing. So credit must go to Red Arrows, Chisimbewe, and of course Mutapa Senior. Brilliant result for Buffaloes. Let them regroup and come back stronger in the remaining games.
All right.
So do you see them changing the coach?
I think they should just
Buffaloes
change
have brought in Felix
Katongo.
Felix Katongo.
And they've given Justin Chinama a fresh 3-game ultimatum.
Yes.
They've renewed the 3-game. So he's supposed to have 2. But they've said, okay, start again.
And they are so lucky they have now, a general who's very much interested in football.
How many games have Buffalo's gone without a win?
9.
9.
Yeah, I was actually doing
27 points.
So they last won 10 games ago. 10 games ago. Imagine. That is.
And for a runaway league leader.
And for them who were at the halfway point, they were top of the league.
Maybe let them visit a Sangom and find out what is
Yes, so
African football is full of wonders, my
brother. You never know. They did somebody wrong.
They need to go to Ghana.
They were supposed to they were supposed to pay someone. Now they didn't pay
on time.
Yeah, so it's really, really sad because now they're in Absa Cup. What's going to happen? Are they going to be kicked out immediately? You know, because I mean, their position is supposed to be representative of how they are.
No, but they don't have a choice but to win the Absa Cup.
Yes. So I actually had a chance to. I forgot one of my cousins. He actually works for Red Arrows. So I was asking him, is this thing real or is it just a fluke? And he's saying, no, it's real. He said they've been working hard, especially behind the scenes. They've been working hard from last season. He said, just start looking from last season up to now. Now we can see the fruits are beginning to show.
Yeah, but Ricky Banda, one of the resurgent youngsters, belongs to Jumulo. He's on loan.
He's on loan at
so
Red
that's why
Arrows.
sometimes it's not good to have players on loan because you may need him at the time you need him most. The owners will say, "Hey."
Yeah, but the players got the right to say, "I'm staying here."
No, but if you're on loan and the parent club doesn't agree.
Anyway, it depends on the loan agreement.
Yes,
there are some loan agreements where you can recall. There are some at short notice, others at the end of the season.
Because he's gotten used to a good and consistent salary. Then he goes back to a parent company where maybe the deal is not as good. So there's those challenges again.
Charlie, prison. Watembo. Prison Leopards 3 and Lusaka Dynamos.
Everyone beats
still.
Dynamos.
Three losses in a row.
3-4.
That
was a
3-4.
You know,
they've been living a lie.
Dynamos, count your points.
They've been living a lie.
Yeah.
And they just caught up with them.
Yeah, so prison.
If things are not good,
So anyway, we cannot take away anything from prison leopards who have actually moved also in the second round.
Prison and
Indeni, a team which has come to stay now in the Super League. they deserve to get those 3 points. Yeah, we know that obviously Lusaka Dynamos have problems, but we cannot take away the fact that the Prison Leopards have picked form. They've brought in a few players in their squad, and they are coached by Kachinga, who is a very experienced coach. Their management there has continued supporting the team, and I think they deserved those 3 points.
Arthur, you were praising Power Dynamos, and they drew 0-0 with the Forest Rangers. They have drawn 3 of the last 3 games. They have not won since 3. They have not won since the restart.
Okay, Mr. Charlie wants to say something.
Okay. Before we leave Lusaka Dynamos,
yes,
it's important that we mention, I think, some of the problems which they are facing. This is a side whose proprietor is Anif Adams. He left the team to be run by a Mr. Soko. A Mr. Soko had financial muscle at one point, and Anif Adams took the back seat. And the highest player was being paid 50,000 kwacha per month. This is how come Collins Sikombe moved from NAPSA to Lusaka Dynamos. This is how come Chabula left Nkwazi to join Lusaka Dynamos. Joseph Zimba, the lowest paid was 30,000 kwacha. Others were paid for two years upfront by Mr. Soko. And if you calculate 50 by 24, it will give... People were wondering, why should Collins Sikombe leave NAPSA and join Lusaka Dynamos? They even recruited one of our top coaches in Wetson Nyirenda, who was given a lavish pay, in short. But after a few months down the line, I think they had a few financial problems. This is why you had players from Namibia leaving, players like Musa Muhammad from Unkana leaving Lusaka Dynamos, and the trend has continued. So Dynamos are in financial problems. These are some of the reasons that have compounded Lusaka Dynamos to be at the basement of the table. So Lusaka Dynamos in Maningi trouble financially.
But and what's happening to their bus? We saw something on social media.
I saw that on social media. I came to get the bus, so I don't know.
Beautiful bus they've lost. But again, Pius, we need to really give credit to these teams that are sponsored by individuals. It's not easy to sponsor.
That one.
And they've tried to. They've been around for 10 years.
A long time.
Yeah. No, in the Premiership,
they've been very consistent. Yeah. They haven't been a yo-yo side.
No, they haven't. It's the first time they're actually performing this badly, to the point where they are actually being relegated. Because I don't see any survival.
No. With that one, I can agree with you. Even if we talk of 13 games.
Yeah, they've bought their own. They've bought their coffee, and they're saying it.
All right. So. Power Dynamos have not won in 3.
Yeah. They have pass. What we need to understand with Power Dynamos is this is the same bad side, the same bad players who were almost relegated. So we should not, even fans must not expect too much from Power Dynamos. What is important is Mwenyach Pepo has actually resuscitated the team, and they are breathing and they're able to compete. If you look at the transfer market, I don't think the coach has been given exactly what he wanted. Exactly the players he wanted. So even the reinforcement thereof has not been to standard or of quality. There's just Brian Mwira na wala kontoka. Then there's Katebe there, who's also, there's a bit of years to his career. He's in the evening of the career. He's got to bring a bit of stability in the defense, yes, but value addition wise, it's not so much. Even Brown is coming in with some quality, but not so much quality as well again. So if you look at the transfer market, they've not brought in. If Power Dynamos brought in just 3 quality players, trust me, pass, they were going to vie for the championship as well. But for me, I think they've achieved what they needed to achieve is just surviving relegation. So I think as fans, they must not be too excited with what they have already. Because I've seen now my fans, they're even saying bad things against the same coach who was actually resuscitated them. So, in short, the fans are expecting too much from almost nothing. Those players are average players for Power Dynamos. Which player can you tell me to work ball Power Dynamos? Takuli. They are all development. Look at those boys. When those boys were Budo and everything, that is upcoming talent. Midfielder, that is the future. That Mulambia boy, that is the future. But currently, what do we have that can really, something we can actually write home about it? Okay, come on. There's more, the promise is big at Power Dynamos.
No, there are players there who can play.
Well, I watched the game, which they played against Forest Rangers. As usual, the Power Dynamos will always dominate. Yeah, obviously, with that turf there, it gave them an advantage. In fact, this is a game where Power Dynamo should have walked comfortably away with 3 points. But lack of experience in the Joshua Mtare. He was presented 2 good chances.
He doesn't know how to score.
And then the new man, Brian Mwira, was unlucky. His head hit the goal post. So this is a Power Dynamo side which I think if it's juggled here and there, they can still be in top 4. They are not far. They have been stable. Yeah, they have not been dropping so many points. The worst of the result, of course, has been a draw. It's now a stable side. They are not losing.
The promise is there.
You see, they go to Choma and pick a draw. It tells you that they are ready to do battle. Because very few teams can go to Choma and come with a point. This is a team which has beaten Zesco comfortably. So you can only underrate Power Dynamos at your peril. Yes, they may not be winning and picking points, but they are very, very methodical. And with Brian, we may be settling down, gelling with the colleagues. He may start adding value to the team. So I don't rule Power Dynamos completely away. I'm very consistent in what I say. I think it was the last program or the other one. I said Power Dynamos now have a bright chance of playing continental football. They have been consistent. They may drop points, but at least they are gaining something. And they are not far. At one time they were in top 4. Not so long ago they were in top 4. And you just have to look at the way they play. But their fans, like Arthur said, may not help the matters. Because they are pushing the team.
We are too expectant. We saw a resurgence, but we've seen the graph went up. Now
remember,
the graph is bouncing.
If you apply so much pressure on them, you have the Joshua Mutales.
There are boys in that team, but so pressure for those boys is not good.
There's so much pressure. If the supporters can be a bit patient and be like Nkana supporters and be like Mfrira Wanderers who just keep singing. But you see, at Arthur Davis is different.
The language has changed.
They
are insulting
where the bottles will be thrown to hit a substitute who they don't want to go in. Such should change. Okay, this is a team which can easily go into top 4. Mark my word. Power Dynamos this year.
And Power is only 2 points from top 4.
Exactly. 2. This is what I'm saying. And they have not been inconsistent in as far as playing is concerned. They command. This is the game we were talking about. They should have collected maximum points. Had Joshua done the right
take
thing
advantage
in
of
the
home
final
games.
third.
Okay, so we are. Okay, so very quickly, what we're going to do now is quickly.
For Super.
Just only 2 fixtures. Nkana, the big win against Cabo Warriors. Odaman?
Penalty, no penalty.
Yeah, I think Nkana played well.
Was that a penalty or not?
Resistance.
You saw the footage?
I saw the footage.
Yes.
Yeah, perhaps the positioning of the referee, and well, there will always be question: was it not a penalty? But the game is gone. Everyone watched it. at the end of the day, the most important statistic was Nkana 1, Kaya Warriors nil. But I must say that Kaya Warriors are not a bad side. They gave proper resistance and they gave a fight. But at Chirata, Nkana at least has started dominating play. Because even against Zanaco, they put up a fight.
Zesco versus Indeni. The form of Indeni finally came to a roadblock. Vachali.
Yeah, this is a game I watched second by second, minute by minute, and I was impressed with the resilience of Indeni. I was impressed with their netminder in Joshua Titima. He had a very, very good game. And I think, truth be told, Zesco United, their goal was a marvel to watch. Titima saved it, but their defenders, his defenders, let him down, and Zesco scored a perfect goal. But it was a very, very good derby, very exciting. We watched attractive football.
All right. So now I think we can quickly review the fixtures coming up this weekend. And we have the following. We have on Nkwazi versus Prison Leopards. This is Friday. And Saturday we have Lusaka Dynamos, Forest Rangers, Zesco United, Kafua Celtic, Power Dynamos versus Buildcon, Indeni versus Kansanshi Dynamos, Chambeshi versus Nkana, Kabu Warriors versus Green Buffaloes. Arthur, what is your pick of the weekend?
Nkana Chambeshi, because I saw them lose that
one
game.
I want to. I
given a chance, I think I'll go and watch that game.
Yes, I was also thinking
it was
of
a very
the same
painful
thing.
loss. I watched Nkana lose that game.
To see if they can inflict revenge.
They don't have a choice. They do not have a choice.
Yes.
That loss was so embarrassing and so painful. Bola Ibaba, Bola Ibaba,
Hey, Bola Ibaba.
Bola Ibaba.
Okay, one day I could feel that. I felt for Nkana fans that day. Chambeshi out of nowhere.
And it made Chambeshi look like, wow, this is a good side. And these guys beating Nkana, I think they're going to go forward. Trust me, they've been so disappointing. I think the most disappointing team for me on the promotion side is Chambeshi. Because after beating Nkana, they showed very good promise. Because the performance was on point. And they won that game on merit. Nkana was outplayed. Period.
Charlie, your pick of the weekend.
Power Dynamos up against Buildcon. Buildcon losing their head. Power Dynamos, of course, after recruiting Brani Muila, a lot of expectations from a top man. Mr. Sitter, I call that a sitter against the Forest Ranger. Should have buried that one. I hope that Brian Miller can have a second chance. He has been brought in to score goals. Power versus Buildcon, interesting game.
He's up against his teammates.
Up against his teammates, Buildcon. This is the game to watch.
Other man?
Well, I think Zesco will beat...
Oh, I forgot one fixture. Red Arrows Konkola.
Yeah, Red Arrows Konkola. But I think let me talk about Zesco United, the Kafua Celtic.
Yes.
If Zesco United underrate Kafua Celtic, again it will be a shock. They just must play their game. This game is in Lusaka, isn't it?
In Ndola.
Oh, yes,
Ndola.
it's in Ndola. I mean, come on.
Zesco
United are expected to collect maximum points. They won't be excused if they don't collect maximum points. They must start applying pressure on Red Arrows. And that's a winnable game. Definitely, that's a winnable game.
And talking about Red Arrows, Alderman, I think Konkola Blades, they'll have an uphill battle up against Red Hot Red Arrows. Basically, Konkola Blades, I think, on 17 points, they should start counting their days in the Super League.
But they have reinforced the squad. They looked good last time they played.
Drew with Zanaco.
When they drew with Zanaco. In fact, Zanaco were lucky.
Konkola even missed a penalty.
Yeah, Konkola missed a penalty. That's a game where Konkola should have easily won. They missed a penalty. So
it's not an easy game for Arrows in short.
It isn't an easy game for Arrows.
Resurgent, we'll see.
You know, Resurgent Red Arrows will meet Resurgent
Concola.
It becomes tricky when you meet a team which is fighting relegation.
Yeah,
it may be tricky. Yeah.
All right, so let's see if we can run through other news in the next 10 minutes or so.
We talked about two things. We haven't completely reviewed the penalty Abankan against the thing, and we have not looked at the jersey issue against Red Arrows.
I thought we talked about the penalty.
No, you talked about the penalty.
Though the jersey, last week we ran through it.
Yes.
Yes.
We handled it.
Yes.
But on the penalty, I think we can still talk about it. I'll talk about the penalty.
Yes.
Football is about amano. Apako bomfia amano ko bomfia. Whether in Chamboli, whether in Mansa, in Ukraine, in England, bola mano.
I know where you're going.
Para bazo bomfia amano pare. And all he needed was a simple touch from the goalkeeper. Because if you look at the position of the ball, the goalkeeper was nowhere near playing the ball. There was no way he was going to touch the ball, reach the ball. It was impossible because the ball was on the other side, inner side. So it was impossible for him to reach the ball. So all Bazo needed was just to get a touch. Simple. Even if the touch is minimal, as long as you've touched him, coupon and I win.
Actually, clean penalty.
Matembo was trying to zigzag his way. You asked him that question.
Yes.
I would throw it first to Alda Matembo as a former referee with many, many years of experience. Was that a penalty, Alda Matembo?
No, I thought I was very, very clear.
Yes or no?
I said, after review, we didn't say any contact between the player and the striker and the goalkeeper. So, if there is no contact, it's not a penalty. But I also said, perhaps the positioning of the referee. You know, Chiwani was clever. He took a long ball. It was so quick from one penalty area to the other penalty area. So the referee had to chase, to pick up. So he was behind the striker. So you can give him a benefit of doubt. Perhaps he did not see what had happened.
I can even throw this question to Pius, the moderator. Was that a penalty, Pius?
Clean.
Simple.
Period.
So 3 against 1. It was a penalty.
All right. So quickly, as we look at football news around, let me kick off, Alderman, then I'll give you to finish off.
Yeah,
yes. There's the issue of this recording which has been going around of former FAS official who was formerly of...
But why are they labeling as Kalusha's friend?
So with this match fixing allegation from which came up, for me, I just wanted to bring out, okay, yes, FAS has responded over the issue that they're investigating it. But gentlemen...
No. They've not said they're investigating it.
No, they've left it.
It came to their attention.
Yes, it came to their... Sorry. Yes.
They acted.
I think that's the correct English. Yeah.
So now took it to disciplinary and ethics.
Yes, they've passed it to the...
No, they did. Because that happened in 2018, by the way.
Yes.
Fabian Ngori.
Yeah. It was in 2018. So when it came to their attention, they took it to ethics committee. And the gentleman was removed because at that time he was the national team. He was an official at NAPSA Football Club.
Yes. So what I wanted to quickly get out of you, gentlemen, don't you find it worrying that we're talking of match fixing in Zambia? Remember, even is it former FAS vice president?
Boniface Mamero.
Yes, Boniface Mamero. He was also by FIFA, cited for match fixing.
World Cup qualifier.
Is it a worrying cancer because of this betting? Should we be worried for our football?
Pass, definitely. Because that is just a one-off catch. There's a lot happening out there, Pass, and it's so embarrassing and frustrating for teams that want to win games on merit. It's very, very frustrating, Pass. And I don't think the banning or disciplinary action against that guy has changed anything. Nothing has changed. I don't think anything has changed.
But Charlie,
It's a
anything to
cancer
worry
that you
about?
cannot see.
Is it a cancer like Arthur is alluding to?
There's a lot to worry about, Pass. I've been in football for a very, very long time. I'll talk about maybe 2 decades plus. And I listened to that audio, and it makes a very sad reading. And I hope that FAS can actually come up with more institutions to actually curb this, which is putting the beautiful game of football into
Disrepute.
into a very bad light. But this happens. It happens at times unnoticed, and it's not good for football. Let's compete on a fair front, okay? Let the best teams win, because it has got effects. I know there's a lot of betting going on. Just as I was coming to the studio, many people were asking me who's going to win between Burkina Faso and Senegal. My ticket is this, what, and so forth. So,
I know it's Angoma.
He's now an octopus.
Let them put more institutions to actually curb such vices in football. Not too good for football, but certainly a worrying state of affairs.
Alderman, I think
Pass,
maybe...
I think by Alderman, we're combining with my situation. There's an issue of referees not getting paid by us as well. Umuntu, the lower ranks, they have not been paid for by chairman and by referees. That as well, Pius, is a very big minus to moving forward. 1 year then local games bapoka maite kwacha wasanga 500 kwacha what is the chance? So it's sometimes even the system adds salt to an existing wound. But I'm not trying to encourage corruption, but sometimes you look at their plight as well. They can fall prey. They won't have a cosa. So sometimes Faz needs to put his house in order so there's no blemish. Because the referee will tell you, iwe, nesha for up 6 months nesha for up. Mutok sa for 500 nesha la pok. They'll use that as an excuse, even if you are just a bad guy. You blame it on Kamanga and his team.
Okay. Other man, though me, I want to move in a different angle with you. And I wanted to talk about the issue of the national team coach.
Yeah, no, we need to
letters flying around.
Embarrassingly.
It's very unfortunate.
Yes, perhaps you can comment on that.
Yeah, one would have thought what was happening in the last regime was not going to rear its ugly head again.
Yes.
But here we are.
Again.
The problem is that whichever minister they bring at the Ministry of Sport and Youth and Art wants to be in control of the Football Association. I think that's where the problem is. You know, they don't want to let the Football Association to run independently. And this is what has been bringing problems. Government interference. Sometimes it may not be government, but minister interference.
No, but
if we are going to continue on that trajectory where there won't be proper relationship between the ministry, which is the government, and the FAS, we are again going to miss
another AFCON.
Because that's what happens.
It's a fighting.
You keep fighting, and then
the focus on the game.
You can't concentrate on the recruitment of players, incentives, and so on. It's unfortunate. And then the minister says he was not aware. But there is a letter.
From his PS.
From his PS. So now,
meaning
how does that ministry operate? Because FAS communicate to government through the permanent secretary. That is the procedure.
So
that is the government procedure. When FAS communicates to the permanent secretary is supposed to inform the minister. The minister now will inform cabinet, in cabinet meetings, and then who chairs the cabinet is the president. That's how information, official information.
Who is even the patron of the football?
Yes, and there is also the patron
of the football session of Zambia.
Now, if the coach will be unveiled, and there is a ministry representative at the unveiling, and then 2 weeks later,
the boss says,
I'm not aware.
But immediately his representative was there.
Those are political gymnastics.
And I remember the minister last week saying that we should give short contracts.
You see?
Not long ones.
So what was
But who is he to start deciding?
No, pass. What was he referring to? Meaning he knows about the contract.
Yes, he knows.
He knew about the
then
contract.
Suddenly says,
obviously, he was reacting to the 4 years which had been given. And now, today he turns and says, I don't know. Which contract was he referring to if he was saying he should give short contracts? Obviously, he was referring to the 4 years contract.
And if you look at the response from the Minister of Sport, from the PS, it talks about it copies the contract, the narrative. So at the end of the day, like Wilderman is saying, for as long as these politics will not finish, Zambian football will not develop. Football's got got more to do with administration than playing. If administration is being interfered with, or administration is bad for whatever reason, it will affect the performance of the national team naturally.
Unfortunately, African governments, as usual, they've become too powerful. They want to control it. That's why Zimbabwe are in trouble with FIFA. Namibia are in trouble. There's another country also. They won't just let the FAs operate independently.
I think what government or the minister needed to probably say was, we have a stake in this the payment of a coach. So every time you have, or we are choosing a coach, please make sure we support you, or we help you in one or the other during the proceedings. Maybe that's what maybe he was sidelined in that respect.
In which way was he sidelined?
No, he's what I've MP.
No, he was aware. He's been aware.
Let's put it this way. FAS is affiliated to National Sports Council of Zambia, who supervise the associations on behalf of the minister. Okay?
And they were
the National Sports Council of Zambia is appointed. The members are appointed by the minister. So those are the ones who have a direct contact with the FAS.
Yeah.
So how, if the minister starts talking about contracts, it's already offside. What is he talking about? If he wants to be consulted on the appointment of a coach, it's not his job. It's not his job at all. Much as the government produces resources, it is the FAS who are mandated to employ the coach. I think let's understand our lines, and we shall stop conflicting.
Offside.
Just to add on, Papa, sorry. I think it makes a very sad reading. The minister is aware about the recruitment of the coach. The permanent secretary is aware. There is even a write-up with all the details in that letter. But to say that he's not aware, I think it's a little bit worrisome. And we have games coming up next month in March. If we don't put things straight in terms of the coach, we'll have a problem once again. Okay? We are coming from an era where there was infighting in the association. Kalu, Kamanga, what, and so forth. And it has actually spilled over into 2022. And we have games coming up in March.
And we are
March, May, somewhere there. We need to actually forget
so
about
already passed.
issues.
That's a red flag. The relationship between FAS and the ministry is not good.
Yeah.
But why should it always be like that?
Yeah.
You can even see, even with when you talk about the coach's salary, again, this merry-go-round.
Yes.
Because
He was
Faz
already
had
unveiled,
requested
and then
they
the
increase it
government
to-
should increase to 30,000,
yeah.
but $10,000.
Yeah.
But the ministry says no, we shall stick to 10
For now.
For now,
Until-
maybe when the funding.
Shine,
So we don't
Soon.
even know if FAS will manage to pay.
Yeah.
the
And
These are the
I'm
issues.
now very curious how much the coach is making, because if FAS wanted 30 pin from GRZ, then I'm not sure. I wonder,
Yeah, maybe it's
he
because
might be
of-
making more money.
Usually, what they do, Appias, is that they look at the total sum of what they can pay the coaches.
Yeah,
Yeah, maybe
including
that
his
is split
support
with
team.
his
Yeah,
assistants, goalkeeper, coach,
physical
and so
trainer.
on. Yeah, normally that's what.
But otherwise, the
Anyway,
meeting is quite sad.
since
But
that
also there was a memorandum of understanding between FAS
And Croatia.
yeah.
Croatia. Perhaps
They will come in and caution us as well.
that one may
Yeah.
assist.
Anyway, since that letter, it's just that it was just leaked recently, but it's from December,
Yes.
and we are now in February.
And I
So,
think, I think the leaking was
and since
deliberate.
since the coach was released, unveiled last week, then
lot has
I'm
happened
sure
in the
something
background.
has happened. So I think not too much to worry about on that front.
Hopefully.
But the minister was in office on December 22nd when it when they were looking for this money were fast. Anyway, I think we can go
struggle continues.
straight into transfers. What I'll do, Otherman, you've got some which may not be here, but I can run through these in 2 minutes, and you can just fill in the blanks if I haven't mentioned. Okay, so with BuildCon we have players coming in. Kingsley Hakuya, free agent. Christopher Chola, free agent. Boston Mujindu, free agent. Francis Olaki, free agent. Jonathan Manongo, free agent. Clifford Saidi, he's also a free agent. The players that have gone out: Brian Wheeler to Power Dynamos, Tapson Kasaba to Konkola Blades. Chambishi, they've got 4 players in. Andy Boyeli, free agent. Godfrey Chivanga, free. Chipili Mungule from GBFC on loan, and Stephen Kabamba also on loan from GBFC. The players that have gone out, nobody. For Forest Ranger, they've got players that have gone out. That is Webster Muzaza to UD Songo, Mozambique. Leopold Kamgui from Indeni, and to Indeni rather, and Jules Chio, who has been released. GBFC players that have come in: Gozon Mutale. He's come on a free as a free agent. Players out: Steven Kabamba on loan to Chambeshi, and Chipili Mungule to Chambeshi as well on loan. Green Eagles players in: Ernest Mbewe, free. Emmanuel Mwamba from Konkola Blades. Players out. All these have been released by Green Eagles: Anos Tembo, Maybin Kalengo, Christopher Chola, Gozon Mutale, Alex Mwamba, Boston Muchindu, and Shadrach Molengwe. Indeni in: Leopold Kamgui from Forest, Roy Sakwanda, Young Green Eagles. Out: Francis Mubanga, Konkola Blades. Alpha Lukong Mutombo, released. Aaron Katebe, Power Dynamos. Cabo Warriors in: Ocean Mushure, Lusaka Dynamos. Mustafa Olayemi Adebayo as a free agent, and Danny Munyao as a free. Out: Twiza Chaivela from to Red Arrows, and Shakif Batambuze to DT Bank FC Tanzania. Kansanshi in: Jesse Jackson Warriors on a free. Baba Basile and free. Marvin Jerry from Lusaka Dynamos. and Jos Mtambwe from St. Eloi Lupopo from DRC. Out Adams Zikiru, UD Songo, Mozambique. Konkola Blades, Tapson Kaseva from Buildcon. Maybin Chimba, Quattro Kalumbila, Maybin Kalengo, Green Eagles, Francis Mwanga, Indeni, Evans Abu from Jumulo, Alexander Aboegwe from Jumulo, Stanley Nshimbi, Red Arrows. Players going out, Emmanuel Mwamba to Green Eagles. Lusaka Dynamos in, Fanuel Mapulanga from Pika United, and out Marvin Jerry Kansanshi. David Obash, contract terminated. Shitemweshi, contract terminated. Ocean Mushire, Cabo Warriors. Sydney Kalume, released. Lassa Kaila, contract terminated. Collins Kombe, contract terminated. Kiara, yeah. And Danny Munyao, contract expired. Nkana, David Obash in as a free agent. Richard Ngoma in from Atletico Lusaka. Then out.
And goalkeeper Mangani in.
Oh yes, Mangani Banda as well. And out. Nobody out. Anyone out from Nkana? No. Power Dynamos in, Brian Wheeler, Buildcon. Aaron Katebe from Indeni. And out Clifford Saidi, contract expired. Red Arrows in, Joseph Banda, Atletico Lusaka on loan. Twiza Chaibela, Cabo Warriors. Out Felix Bulaya, Zanako, Joseph Lungu, Napsa Stars, Evans Busonda, Muflira Wanderers on loan. And Stanley Nshimbi, Konkola Blades also going out on loan. Zanako in, Emmanuel Mwinde, free agent. Mwila Piri, free agent. Shitemweshi, free. Felix Bulaya, Red Arrows, loan. And Lassa Kiala from as a free agent. Out Ernest Mbewe, contract expired. Zio Tembo, who's back now. It was
So how do you consider that one?
As an in-out.
They've paid him for that. They've lost money instead.
Then Mangani Banda, contract expired. Emmanuel Sakala released. Kingsley Hakuya released. Baba Basile, contract expired. Zesco United, the last one. Pedro Miguel, Trident FC. Francis Banda, City of Lusaka. Collins Kombe, free agent. Shemi Mayembe, free agent. Vincent Oburu, free agent. Out Jesse Jackson Were, contract expired. And Tafwaza Rusike, contract expired. Anything to add?
Yeah, quickly, I just, those that perhaps are not there, we have Rodrick Kawe, who has left Zanaco and has joined Sekukune in South Africa on a 2-year deal. All right. And then, of course, we have Namibian international winger, Willie Stefanus, has terminated his contract with Lusaka Dynamos and is now a free agent. Felix Blyer, I didn't hear him from that list. He has joined Zanaco from Red Arrows. Shitemweshi has joined Zanaco from Lusaka Dynamos. Of course, almost every player is leaving Lusaka Dynamos. Then Boyd Mulwanda, this is at technical level now as a coach. He has left Buttcon and has been appointed by Kansanshi Football Club. Wellington Mujembe has joined Kito United as a head coach. And then Mayuka has retired from football. Again,
he's retired.
Now, I
think final.
Al Ali have offered Pitso Musmane a new 2-year contract with a salary of $180,000. I want to repeat that one. $180,000. So it translates to 3,250,966
per month.
Kwacha Fortingwe.
Per month.
per month. That's a lot of money, isn't it, gentlemen?
Brilliant.
This young man, under 17 captain Joseph Sabo Bobanda, has joined Red Arrows from Atletico Lusaka, and I'm happy because this is the future of Zambia.
Yeah.
He has now.
It's a loan. Is it a loan?
It's a loan. You know,
Atletico
just
Lusaka.
expose him.
Because I don't think the price tag right now, I don't think anyone can afford.
And Richard Ngoma, the youngster who has come to Nkana, is also on loan for 18 months.
But me, the way I see it, if there's a team with money, just give Atletico Lusaka a good deal, and then for the next sale, you just give them a percentage.
For them, they're a project.
But in Zambia, they don't own as such. You start taking each other to court.
Those guys are Atletico are a project pass. They're a very serious project.
Yeah.
And talking about these transfers, and I think we should also recommend Mayuka for actually, that goal against Ghana was something else. I think credit must go to Mayuka.
Yeah, it was.
No, he tried to come back. It's not easier to come back from retirement. It's
Gentleman
not easy.
of all seasons.
Yeah. It's not easy.
Mano Mayuka.
I think he goes down as a legend.
Yes.
Well, we should pay tribute to Mayuka. We should look at the
contribution to Zambian football.
His path, his journey in Zambian football. We can't just leave him like that.
Yes.
In fact, the last team that he played for, I think NAPSA, should have a ceremonial game to send. I don't know why we don't do such. I know he spent most of his time at Cow Warriors, but surely, looking at him, he's a legend.
Maybe he wants to start
training
his son.
We send off this.
He's got a son now.
Yeah.
Has to impact.
So otherwise, I'm done.
Done? Okay. I think now what we'll do very quickly.
No, we need to the jerseys in Ghana Arrows game.
We did it last week,
Arthur. That was last week. We talked about it last week
again.
No. I think we need to.
We exhausted it.
Because there was some more confusion is coming up. So okay, by older man,
what I want to do is
what he should have talked about was now the Red Arrows. Versus Green Buffaloes, because
there
was another clash.
Yes, there's another. That's why I wanted that thing to be talked about, because routine.
Yeah, but in Ghana, Red Arrows thing, we spent a lot of time on it last week.
So we're talking about the recurrence pass. That happened in Ghana, but just a week later,
Faz has come out and said has issued a statement over the same.
A week later, pass we have the same problem. We're talking about professional clubs here with mature people who are paid to do what they do.
Yeah.
So it's very worrying.
So we'll be going, because I want you gentlemen to watch the semi-final of AFCON. So very quickly, I'm going to open the phone lines, and just for a few minutes, and then we'll come back and talk AFCON, and then we'll close.
And we'll go and do a latat.
So 0212222877, that is the phone line, which is open now, with also 0965000877. You can call in, and good evening, caller.
Good evening. How are you, Mr. Pius?
I'm fine, and how are you? Who am I speaking to?
You are speaking to Mr. Nyambe from Solwezi.
Mr. Nyambe from Solwezi. Please go ahead with your question or comment.
Thank you very much. I just have two comments to talk on. The first one is I think the issue with what is going on with the Faz and the minister and everything. I think it's not healthy, and the minister, I think maybe from the way I looked at it, probably the minister has different intention, or he has a hidden agenda towards Faz. Maybe he has some people whom he wants to be in Faz, and that's why he's trying to bring in these confusions and everything. But all along, I think they need to sit down and then harmonize the things. As you said, we are going into the very crucial moment now. We don't want to miss 2023 AFCON. So the minister should at least tone down and then give the football the people. Probably For God's sake, maybe probably is not the right person to be in that ministry. Maybe should have gone to run the ministry which considers the markets and other things where he has much experience. Maybe maybe leave that one to the other people who have interest in football at heart. Some of us, we don't feel good when we don't see Zambia at AFCON and we don't see Zambia going forward. Some of us were really tired. Then the other thing is betting. For me, it's not only in Zambia. I think if I were the power or the FIFA itself had power, I think betting companies mostly should be banned. And those are the ones who have destroyed football in the world. You can even see in Europe, even in England, everywhere. Just because of betting, I can see even AFCON, it's even sponsored by some betting companies. So betting itself has destroyed the football. And where we are going, I'm afraid, we won't be watching football, we just be interested in making money. So that's my only contribution this evening. Thank you.
Thank you so much. 021, good evening, caller.
Hey, Papa, Mwabombeni.
Shanwa famous.
Number 2 famous.
Lero muliba number 2. Muri relegated.
Nankana so alesa pa number 2, ifinaba number 2. Papa si chachi nesha tiranda baasa 100%. Yari ni penalty. Nga mwalolesha kulokwa berere lifali yari ni penalty kulokwa berere mani te penalty. Noma na mchopo yanse keshe bawalia zitachapa kadi pesa no bocha kadi pesa na ni bapa but straight yana bawalia ilia noma na ifuka patu alisabe bukisha tawe na imwe kuli Lusaka Dynamo ija bavuba mpele ya kunse ero baipanga baibika penalty ero bapa baisanda tota mulaba imwe bankana so for yaba sometimes kula bafia miwami na filafini for yaba ero ukwisa kuli ba konkola bread versus zanako mwamona bapati bechibemba kirandati musukumo urushe mpanga mwamona supporter wa konkola bread umo fi after bola na iponga mwamona supporter fans wa konkola ati fari ali chabwino sana ero ali tupera na peno tuwaifiri irwesi nomba yali ne bale fumacha kurwa supporter wa konkola wa shireda sakuli basi ero na yena bali mupepeka mpaka bamuikata bamutwara na kumaseozi akamonekera na ku court ni umo feradi nganda nokulanda tawe tatwachire pwesiyongo isiyongo ko twachire ntali bazesco turesumina kuri bazesco twalista twalingishe golo batukani na kuri lifali nombe yaba zanako aho yena ni umo fyo muntu na yena alisikwa kuti mweneshamu fo yaba ati muskumo urushe mpanga na pusha na totera bapa
totera ba famous. Oh, I think I'm not sure what has happened with that. Okay, that call. All right. Good evening, caller. Hello. Mkwai.
Na fokta contribute na nipa nono.
Tulelanda na banani.
Hello.
Ni banani?
James Kasanya.
James, please go ahead.
Mkwai. First of all, the folks to give Gandina Disapuka na win just kefu. Doni nacho kuranda pari game ya banka no kuranda fitsinga honest speaking irata ya penalty monseto alitambire bora ile. Ponga aire ipone na vyo mwine tabamu pantire na mota bamu kumishena mbali ibwesishe sana several time. So amari fari I think ba ashbada man Patrick Tembo bafwe kwa amari fari. Bari tsebanya sana ila game bari ngeukia clean game then bari abakawe wale bari kwete penalty. Ifali afiro kubadilisha mabe almost 2 penalties. Afiro majira take penalty abangana na aliidisha. Then mbipoisha pera nipadi wa Majans kazo. Nari umforu se after na verengere idashira bumairo mupepa. Then angtwali ba Brema badibadi walishinga. Then kutotra sere sababu ela batunu then umweona abakwata. So tule teganya se bakudande chindu twakwata ila shiri ne mukani. Then padi bazesco washaka tsevo tingalande singi mwandini bayaleka Jesu wedi adeni bambokustama kuda eka no nyawe twatotera bafazi na government bafuri bayikala sepani so that bakwata solution nokuchira lero twamvisi mailo twamvisi natotera muka
twatotera ba James 0212222877 or 0965. Good evening, caller. Hello, good evening.
Oh, Papa.
Good evening. Who am I speaking to?
You're speaking to Davison Chivoria from Torrezi.
Please go ahead, Davison.
Yes. Papa, nataka kuranda kwa pali wafazi na ba madishiba ichibemba kila ti sofunga shirero chichulira mochani. So when fathers and government they are pulling each other, which will suffer is the football. And some of us we sleep football, like my grandfather Dennis Wewe used to say. We sleep football, we walk football, we drink football. It's not good that they are pulling each other. You just have to sit down and iron out all the gray areas. Because it's not good. You don't say what it don't say. If the minister has failed it, let him start doing it. The other thing which you can do better, like running the market the way you used to do with the Zanama. It's not good if there is anything which has gone wrong. Let them sit down as our parents, let them iron out things in order, not whereby the permanent secretary was there, then the minister said he's not aware. Then what kind of arrangement? How do they communicate? How do they work with the permanent secretary? It's not good for the game of football and for Zambia at large. Thank you.
Thank you so much for that call. Today, unfortunately, I'm going to cut calls short because of AFCON. And gentlemen, we are presented with AFCON semi-finals. One today, one tomorrow. One is kicking off in the next few minutes. And it is a big one. And that is, we have Burkina Faso versus Senegal. Oderman, looking at that match, are they, both of them, very deserving to be in that spot?
No doubt about it. Of course, Senegal didn't start well, but they stabilized. Burkina Faso played very, very good football to reach this stage. These are the two teams which know each other. It's a battle, West Africa. It can go either way. This is a game which can go either way. It will be very exciting.
And Arthur, tell us, what is your view of this semi-finals? Is it West African affair?
Yeah, it's a West African affair, but
is it something like Zambia, Malawi? They know each other, like Oderman is saying.
Absolutely. So for this game, it's about mistakes. You make a mistake, you pay the price. Because if you look at the standard of play, the focus for everyone is basically Senegal. But this is where you can get an upset in football. People are focusing so much on Senegal. But trust me, Burkina Faso has got nothing to lose. So they'll play all out. And for me, Pius, I'll be honest with you, football being what it is, I actually favor Burkina Faso. Because if Senegal wins it, they will definitely go all the way to win the tournament. There'll be no other obstacle. But for me, trust me, right now my money is on Burkina Faso.
Vachali, your view?
My view.
Big semi-final.
Big semi-final, yes. First and foremost, point number one, there's a lot of money at stake. There's about 5 million for teams that will win. There's about 2.2 million for the semi-finalists. One, Burkina Faso have come very, very far. Traore, their team captain, has carried the team on his shoulders. They are coming up against Senegal, a team that has not won the Nations Cup before. They are craving to actually
we've won it before Senegal.
Yes. So that's why if Senegal wins this one, this is the only header they have. It's a very big header.
They are craving to lay their hands on that trophy. But Burkina Faso are standing in between. This game, in terms, if I had to switch into a supporter, I think I want Burkina Faso to win. for obvious reasons. It's an underdog team. It has played very, very well. We have seen some upsets. Algeria packing first round, Tunisia being knocked out. If I were to be treated as a supporter, this semi-final, the Burkina Faso-Senegal game, I want Burkina Faso to win.
All right. Me, I've got a different view. I want Senegal to win.
No, let Senegal win. I think
you humanitarian pass. That is humanitarian thinking. On humanitarian,
they have to win because they've been doing a lot for African football. They are currently on top in as far as football is concerned in Africa. You know, according to FIFA rankings, they are the top ranking team. Am I right, Papas?
Yes, they are.
Currently. You know, they let them prove that they are not there by accident.
No, you want to say Senegal Egypt final. Sadio Mane against Salah.
Sadio Mane has to have something. He has won the league with Liverpool. Now he has to win it.
And the longer Mane is at the AFCON, at least Liverpool this side, the longer they will. Anyway, they are not struggling, but
they really need him.
I'm not sure Burkina Faso will put up a big fight.
No
led
doubt.
by Traore.
There's no doubt about that.
They have come very
now. We have tomorrow a semi-final between the most decorated African AFCON teams.
Yes.
Egypt winning it seven times. 1957, 1959, 1986, 1998, 2006, 2008, and 2010. And Cameroon, who have won it five times. 1984, 1988, 2000, 2002, and 2017. So these teams know each other, number one, very, very well. They've been in the finals a number of times. Like Cameroon, for example, have been at this stage 9 times, 9 semifinals. So they know this stage very, very well. On that, this is all on paper. Starting with you, Alderman, how do you see this one going?
Well, I know in 2017, Cameroon beat Egypt, if you recall.
Yes.
I see that repeating itself. I have not been convinced by this Egyptian side. Yes, they were they qualified as the better.
I believe they beat a better team in Morocco.
They beat a better team in Morocco. That's the only credit. Because they qualified as the best losers. I'm one of those who have been passionate about this AFCON. I've tried to watch as many games as possible. I am not convinced that Egypt can go all the way. They have not convinced me. They showed a bit of character when they played, when they eliminated the fellow Arabs. Which team is this? Yeah, but Morocco, yeah, when they beat Morocco. But I wasn't still convinced. Looking at the other teams in the past, the Egyptians don't give you a chance to even get to their goal. You'll be under a lot of pressure. The wing play, they are relying on this. They are relying so much on Salah, and as a team, I'm not convinced. So, playing Cameroon, who are enjoying home ground advantage, and you know how Cameroon start, they are now more confident. This will be a very difficult game for Egypt.
Yeah. Arthur?
Pius, if we critically look at the route that Cameroon has taken to get where they are, this is the first game they're having as a test. The Egypt game is a first test. Ama teams yonse obatire kusafika pali bafikire lero.
Gambia.
You can't compare Gambia to
Burkina Faso.
Pius.
That was the first game.
No, this is a real test. If they beat Egypt, I don't think they'll struggle against Senegal if Senegal goes through, for instance, or vice versa. This is the toughest game that they're ever facing at the AFCON. And being the host, I'd be happy to see them go through. Egypt, like Elderman has said, they've not convinced. they've not shown belief. But you know how these Arabs are. They are so shocking. You think there is a walk in the park.
Technically brilliant.
They score you early, finish.
Yeah. So for me, this is the biggest test for Cameroon. And if Cameroon can win today's game, tomorrow's game, they've got every reason to win it as a host, which is not easy. So my money is on Cameroon.
Well, Charlie?
Yeah. Arthur's money is on Cameroon. My money is on Egypt. That is where my money is placed. Vincent Abubakar versus Mohamed Salah. I can assure you, the Egyptians, I think, they'll be looking for a revenge. They lost the finals in 2017. A perfect opportunity to inflict pain on the host nation, Cameroon. And Cameroon, for argument's sake, during the first group stage matches, teams that they were coming up against, you would find COVID test being positive COVID tests. You know, a little bit of crookedness in their passage to reach this far. They were finding some teams, maybe 3, 5, as many as 5 players positive COVID. Cameroon test negative, 0. But I think they have been checked by authorities. They are coming up against the pharaohs of Egypt. I hope there will be no COVID
issues.
No COVID issues. Let them win that game on the pitch. It's a semi-final, Bwana.
I think that's clear Cameroon from that COVID whatever. Because the CAF of the independent doctors handling COVID issues. So I think...
No, we're talking about luck. And there's been a lot of luck involved.
So other teams must just...
That's why for me...
Must just learn how to look after themselves.
The real test... the real test is the Egyptian game. Hoping there will be no 5 cases against Egypt.
Okay. So, what is your ideal final, Odaman?
I see Senegal getting into the final, and like I said, I think they will be eyeing to get their first AFCON.
Senegal versus Cameroon?
Been a football giant in Africa for a long time, so it will be Senegal against Cameroon, the hosts. But Cameroon will fall.
I've seen today nobody has given Egypt a chance. Your ideal, Charlie, your ideal final?
But before Wachari comes in, it's important to note that the North Africans this time round have not done so well.
No, they haven't.
I think it's.
I had 3
temperatures.
Before a ball was kicked in the AFCON, I had 3 North Africans as my favorite.
You and I had
Morocco,
Tunisia,
and Algeria.
Okay, Tunisia not so much, but Algeria and Morocco. We thought
those two are on form. They are powerhouses.
We don't even think of Egypt.
Egypt, we didn't even put them there. And then Senegal, of course. And Senegal have.
So there are 3 West African teams and 1 North African out of the 4. I think that's what we have to note.
All right.
Let me go the other way.
Your final?
My final, Egypt, Burkina Faso. That would be the ideal final. And then 3rd and 4th, Cameroon up against the Senegal.
And Cameroon will win.
Arthur?
I've already spoken. For me, it's Burkina Faso. But for the sake of winning it for the first time, like after we know, let's let them go through and go all the way. Because if Senegal wins today, meaning they will actually go all the way and win the tournament.
If we have a dynamic of the very first game of the tournament was Burkina Faso versus Cameroon. It could be the final again. Do you think the dynamic can change? Because Burkina Faso will go in that game with nothing to lose. It's a final. They are not looking for points. They are looking just to win. Whether it's Cameroon or whether it's where it's being played, whether it's on the moon, they are looking just to win.
Their route is like Zambia. That's a beauty about Burkina Faso. No one was actually looking at them until the last minute. Oh, these guys have come this far.
They're playing well.
But it's too late for you to adjust. They're already in the semi-final.
Yeah. All right. So I think for AFCON, we'll wait and see the winners on Sunday. Other man says Senegal. Charlie says Egypt. And Arthur, Burkina Faso.
What about you, sir?
Me, Senegal. I'm still sticking to Senegal. All right. So just to before we sign off, just to acknowledge Latat Cafe, who are usually with us, supporting us from the background. If you don't know where Latat Cafe is, best snacks in town, shop number 3, Chiswa's Emporium on Central Street in Nkana East. And they have the best cakes, burgers, wraps, chicken and chips, sausage and chips, pies, samosas. You can get platters for all occasions, cakes for all occasions, be it weddings, corporate functions, birthdays, kitchen parties. You can also get wraps. There is a special on wraps every Wednesday, so do make sure you get there. And also you can get ice cream, all kinds of donuts, cupcakes, cake slices. And Latat Cafe is open from 8 hours to 20 hours Monday to Saturday, and 10 to 19 hours on Sundays.
Big up to Chef Richard and Sherry Dada.
To Sherry, I hope you're still listening. Don't worry, Power Dynamos is ending top 4. I know you're a big Power Dynamos fan. But Chef Richard, thank you as well for supporting us. Okay. Mason Greenwood, and unfortunately that incident, but he's been released on bail today. So we'll hear, but he's lost a lot of endorsements. Though you know the thing with abusive cases, whatever is involved, whether rape or whatnot. They say you're guilty, you're innocent until proven guilty, but those, it's usually the other way around.
Yeah.
You're guilty before you're proven innocent.
That's unfortunate.
But Manchester United have put the man on suspension. He's not training with the club, I think, until everything blows over. But everything came from social media. We hope the young man can recover from this, because if it is guilty, this is very, very bad for him.
But
and
he has a
bad for
promising career.
his career. His career is almost coming to an end. Avram Grant, the former manager of Chelsea, also has been accused of sexual harassment for several women. It has been revealed. You know these things when they come out, they start coming out. It's everybody. Yeah.
Some women just become gold diggers, unfortunately.
Yeah.
So you find those who have a bit of money will be targeted.
That's why you have to be careful if you're a public figure, Bakalamba.
Yeah.
That's association.
There's one big fixture in Italy. Inter Milan up against
AC Milan.
There's a Milan derby this weekend.
Yes, yes, that is the one to look out for.
Huge match.
It's just that we didn't have enough time to extensively go through transfers. I think we'll analyze those next week.
We can do that next week.
Thank you for coming, gentlemen.
Yeah, just a quick thank you to the City Square taxi drivers. Jason, Vincent, Walia, Titus Jones, Agrippa, David Mulusa, Piri, Elijah, and that's Jason. Then also thank you to Cleopas. He's also been supporting. He's been listening in.
Oh, yes.
Cleopas and Jovo.
Yes, Cleopas.
Thanks for your support. We'll host you one of these days. So I think Kariko threatened. So we can consider him for a job as an analyst.
All right.
And the people in Solwezi as well, they've been really supportive.
I must say Solwezi has been a big support
Davis there in Solwezi.
Yeah. All right. Thank you, gentlemen, for joining us. Bola
Iva.
And Bola
Nizigoli.
We are here.
Mashani